Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Lincoln penny coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we are going to explore one of the most fascinating modern coins from the United States of America, the 2009 Lincoln 1-cent Professional Life Penny. This coin isn't just a simple piece of copper-plated zinc, it's a story captured in metal, a tribute to Abraham Lincoln's journey from a humble lawyer to one of the greatest leaders in American history. So coin lovers, listen carefully, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is so loved, how to spot the rare ones, and what they can really be worth in today's market. The year 2009 was special for the U.S. Mint. It marked both the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent. To celebrate, the Mint released 4 different reverse designs showing key stages of Lincoln's life: his birth and early childhood in Kentucky, his formative years in Indiana, his professional life in Illinois, and finally, his presidency in Washington, D.C. The Professional Life design, the one we're talking about today, shows Lincoln standing proudly before the Illinois state capitol in Springfield, the very place where he built his career as a lawyer and politician. The details are stunning: Lincoln's tall figure, the classical columns of the Capitol, and the tiny engravings that capture the spirit of the man who would change America. Now, here's where things get interesting. The Professional Life Penny was only minted for that 1 year, 2009, and only for a limited period. That makes it a 1-year-only design, instantly collectible for anyone who loves Lincoln cents. It was struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, while the Denver coins carry a small D just below the date. Although hundreds of millions were produced, most of these coins were quickly spent and circulated, which means finding a perfectly preserved example is not as easy as you'd think. The real treasures are those that have remained in mint state condition, bright, untarnished, and free from scratches. These coins can be found in mint sets, rolls, or sometimes even in your pocket change if you're lucky. Now let's talk about what makes some of these coins rare and valuable. Collectors are always looking for coins with errors, and yes, the 2009 Professional Life Penny has several varieties and striking mistakes that can increase its worth dramatically. Some known errors include double dies, especially noticeable on Lincoln's coat or the building behind him, where the lines may appear doubled. There are also off-center strikes, die cracks running through the fields, and even plating bubbles that give the coin a unique appearance. Another variety to watch for is the satin finish version. It has a slightly different texture and was only included in special collector sets, making it scarcer than regular circulation strike stud. If you find a Professional Life Penny with any of these features in pristine, uncirculated condition, you might be holding on to something far more valuable than a single cent. Collectors pay close attention to grading. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Coins graded MS65, MS66, or MS67 are considered premium quality. So what is the real market value? Let's break it down clearly. A normal circulated 2009 Professional Life Penny, the kind you find in everyday change, is usually worth just 1 cent. However, an uncirculated example, especially one with brilliant luster and no marks, can be worth a few dollars. Now here's where it gets exciting. A 2009 Professional Life Penny from the Philadelphia Mint graded MS67 has sold in auctions for around $300, while a Denver Mint version in the same grade has reached as high as $700. Rare error coins or satin finish varieties can fetch even more depending on their uniqueness and condition. So next time you check your coin jar or sort through your change, keep an eye out for this beautiful 2009 Lincoln Professional Life cent. Look at the details, the shine, and the mint mark, because hidden in plain sight could be a small copper coin with a big story and surprising value. Coins like these remind us that even the tiniest pieces of metal can hold a piece of history, and sometimes, a touch of treasure. So keep collecting, stay curious, and who knows, the next penny you find might just be worth hundreds of dollars. Top 2, we are diving into the story of one of the most fascinating and often overlooked coins in American history, the 1971 Lincoln 1-cent coin. This tiny copper beauty may look like an ordinary penny at first glance, but don't be fooled. Hidden among these coins are rare varieties, stunning mint errors, and valuable high-grade examples that can turn a single cent into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So coin lovers, listen carefully and stay with me till the end, because this story might just make you look at your pocket change in a whole new way. The 1971 Lincoln Penny belongs to the long-running Lincoln Memorial Series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. On the obverse, we have the familiar and iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, the same design that has graced the cent since 1909. On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, an image that honors the 16th president in a grand and timeless way. But even though it looks simple, the 1971 penny carries more secrets than meets the eye. This coin was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia version has no mint mark, the Denver version carries a D, and the San Francisco version has an S. Now here's where it starts to get interesting. Each mint has its own unique characteristics and potential rarities. The 1971 S-proof penny, for example, was made only for collectors. These coins have mirror-like surfaces and crisp details, but there's one special variety that collectors dream of: the 1971 S double die obverse. On this rare variety, you can clearly see doubling in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," as well as in the date. This error happened when the coin die impressed the design twice at a slightly different angle. The result? A coin that stands out instantly to the trained eye, and one that can fetch serious money. But that's not all. Even the regular circulation strikes from Philadelphia and Denver can have their share of fascinating errors. Some 1971 pennies are known for off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing, or broad strikes, where the rim appears stretched and distorted. There are also examples of die cracks, cuds, and weak strikes, all of which add uniqueness and collectible value. Another reason the 1971 penny stands out is its composition. It's made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a heavier, more durable metal mix than the later zinc pennies we see today. That alone gives older copper cents a solid foundation of interest for collectors. Many people hoard pre-1982 pennies for their copper content alone, since they have a melt value higher than 1 cent. But of course, numismatic value far exceeds metal value when you have a rare variety or high-grade coin. Now let's talk about condition, one of the biggest factors in determining a coin's value. Most 1971 pennies you find in your change are worn and dull, worth only face value. But an uncirculated coin, one that has never been used and still shines with original luster, can be worth several dollars. And when you reach gem quality, grades like MS-65, MS-66, or MS-67, the prices jump significantly because flawless examples are very hard to find. The Philadelphia strikes tend to have weaker details, so finding a sharp, well-struck one is especially challenging and rewarding. Collectors also look for proof coins from San Francisco with deep cameo contrast. These are coins where Lincoln's portrait looks frosty against a mirror-like background. The better the contrast, the higher the value. Now here comes the moment everyone waits for: the real market prices and auction values. A regular circulated 1971 penny from Philadelphia or Denver is usually worth just 1 cent. However, a brilliant uncirculated coin can bring around $2 to $5 depending on quality. A top-graded MS-67 red example has sold for around $500, but the real stars are the error and variety coins. The famous 1971 S double die proof cent has sold at auction for as high as $2,500 when in pristine condition. Other mint errors, like major off-center strikes or dramatic die breaks, can range anywhere from $50 up to several $100s, depending on how eye-catching and rare the error is. Top 3. Today we are exploring one of the most fascinating little coins in American history, the 1975 Lincoln Memorial Penny. At first glance, it looks like any ordinary 1-cent coin, but believe it or not, some 1975 pennies hide secrets that make collectors' hearts beat faster. So, coin lovers, listen closely. This story might make you check every penny in your change. The 1975 Lincoln Penny proudly features the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It was struck in 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, just like all cents made before the 1982 switch to copper-plated zinc. There are 3 mint marks to look for: no mint mark for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco proof coins. Billions were made that year, so most are common, but a few stand out, and those are the ones collectors chase. Most 1975 pennies you'll find in circulation are only worth face value, but rarity comes from condition, special errors, and minting varieties. The better preserved the coin, the more valuable it becomes. A bright red, uncirculated penny from 1975 with strong details and luster is always worth more than a dull, brown circulated one. But it's the errors that make this coin truly exciting. Among the known errors, one of the most talked about is the double die obverse, where parts of Lincoln's profile or lettering appear doubled due to a slight shift in the die. Another interesting one is the repunched mint mark, often found on Denver, D, mint coins, where the mint mark was struck twice. Some 1975 pennies even have die cracks that create small raised lines on the surface. These oddities can dramatically increase a coin's collector appeal. And of course, we can't forget the missing letters or off-center strikes, which make each piece one of a kind. The 1975 penny also has a historical twist. There are number 1975 Lincoln proofs officially released to the public. The San Francisco Mint struck proof coins in 1975, but they all carry the date 1976, celebrating the nation's bicentennial. So, if a 1975 proof cent ever appears, it would be an extraordinary minting mistake, possibly one of the rarest U.S. coins in existence. Now let's talk value, the real numbers collectors care about. A regular 1975 Lincoln penny in circulated condition is typically worth 2 to 3 cents, mostly for its copper content. Uncirculated red examples can range from $10 to $20 depending on the grade. A top-quality MS-67 red penny has been known to sell for around $50. Denver mint pennies, with the D, are similar, but pristine red examples can push even higher. Proof-like coins and strong double die errors can reach into the hundreds of dollars, depending on clarity and demand. But the true stars of the 1975 penny world are the extremely high-grade certified coins, some sold at major auctions for over $1,000 when in perfect MS-68 condition or showing exceptional die variety. So next time you find a 1975 penny, don't ignore it. Check its color, bright red is best. Look for doubling, cracks, or strange details. Even a tiny imperfection could make your penny far more valuable than it looks. To sum it up, a typical 1975 Lincoln penny is worth a few cents. A mint state coin might bring $10 to $50. A proof-like or rare error coin could reach hundreds, and the finest, top-graded examples might touch $1,000 or more at auction. Top 4. We are diving into the story of one of America's most classic and collectible coins, the 1961 Lincoln 1-cent coin. At first glance, it may look like just another penny you'd find in your change jar, but for coin collectors, this small piece of copper can hide amazing surprises, valuable minting errors, and rare varieties worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So coin lovers, listen carefully, because by the end of this video, you'll look at your pennies in a whole new way. The 1961 Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, introduced in 1959 to celebrate 150 years since Abraham Lincoln's birth. On the front, you'll see Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln, the same design used since 1909. On the back, designed by Frank Gasparo, stands the Lincoln Memorial, with a tiny statue of Lincoln visible between the columns, a hidden detail that connects both sides of the coin beautifully. In 1961, these pennies were struck at 2 mints, Philadelphia, which used no mint mark, and Denver, marked with a small d. Over 3 billion coins were made, which sounds like a lot, but among those billions are special varieties and minting errors that turn ordinary coins into valuable collector's pieces. Let's talk about the rare ones. The most famous is the 1961 D double die obverse, where the letters "In Liberty" and "In God We Trust" show clear doubling. This happened when the die struck the design twice at a slightly different angle, creating that distinct shadow effect. There are also off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing, and broad strikes, where the coin looks stretched because it was struck outside its collar. Other varieties include die cracks and cuds, where parts of the die broke during production, leaving raised blobs or lines on the surface, each one unique. Then there's the proof version from the San Francisco Mint, made only for collectors. These coins have deep, mirror-like surfaces and frosted details. A 1961 proof coin isn't rare by itself, but perfect, deep cameo examples are highly sought after. The 1961 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that rich reddish glow. Because of the copper content, pre-1982 pennies like this one are already desirable, but condition is the key. Most 1961 pennies found in circulation are worn and worth only face value. However, bright red uncirculated examples with full mint luster can be worth much more. Graded coins range from MS-60, showing slight marks, to MS-67 or higher, which are almost flawless and very rare. Now let's get to what everyone wants to know, the real market prices and auction values. A regular 1961 penny from Philadelphia or Denver in average circulated condition is worth 1 cent. An uncirculated red example can bring between $2 and $10, depending on grade. A 1961 D penny graded MS-67 red has sold for around $600, while the Philadelphia version in the same grade has reached about $400. Proof coins from San Francisco can also be valuable. A perfect PR-70 deep cameo has sold for up to $250. And rare mint errors, such as strong double dies or major off-center strikes, have fetched anywhere from $50 to $1,000, depending on how dramatic the error is. Top 5, and last rare coin. Today we are diving into the story of a tiny coin with a big history, the 1979 Lincoln Memorial Penny of the United States of America. You might think it's just another 1-cent piece, but hidden among billions of these copper coins are rare varieties and valuable errors that can turn a simple penny into a collector's treasure. So coin lovers, listen carefully and enjoy this fascinating journey. There are 3 mint versions: no mint mark for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. Billions were minted that year, but the real excitement begins when we explore the rare ones. Most 1979 pennies are only worth face value, but collectors hunt for those in pristine, uncirculated condition or with unique minting errors. For example, the BIE error, a small raised line between the letters B and E in Liberty, caused by a die crack, gives a coin extra appeal. These subtle details can lift a coin's value far above a single cent. Condition, or grade, is everything in numismatics. Coins graded MS or mint state, with full red luster and sharp details, can command impressive prices. Even slight wear drops value fast. Proof coins from San Francisco, struck with mirror-like surfaces for collectors, are also special finds. An uncirculated coin can bring anywhere from $10 to $20 depending on shine and quality. Denver mint coins in high grades can sell for up to $25. San Francisco proofs, if flawless, may reach $50 or more. But the true showstoppers are the rare, top-graded pieces. Some 1979 Lincoln pennies with perfect MS-67 red grades or unique error varieties have sold at major auctions for over $5,000. Imagine holding one of those brilliant red gems, a simple cent turned into a collector's dream. That's what makes this hobby so thrilling. Every coin in your pocket could carry history, rarity, and a hidden story. So if you find a 1979 penny, look closer. Check the color: red, red-brown, or brown. Look for mint marks, cracks, or doubling. You never know when a 1-cent coin could be worth thousands. So to wrap it up, a regular 1979 Lincoln penny is worth only a few cents. A mint state example might reach tens of dollars. And an exceptional, error-filled or top-graded coin could soar into the hundreds, even thousands, at auction. That's the beauty of coin collecting: history in your hand, value in your pocket, and mystery in every detail. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more coin collecting secrets. Happy hunting, and may your next penny be pure treasure.